What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So this is just a quick video on how to adjust the dual Visionz LED headlight from HogWorkz. Alright guys, so it's been about a year now that I've had this headlight and I truly do enjoy it, but I did notice when I first made the video for this headlight that it was pointing slightly up, so I reached out to HogWorkz and they reached back out and let me know that there was an adjustment knob on the back. I did not know that when I first made the video for this headlight, so when I did make the adjustments, it made a world of difference. So this is just a quick video on how to adjust this headlight. There's different techniques out there as far as adjusting your headlights, doing the 25-foot method, or using your garage door, or going to a dark road and seeing what coverage you actually need. Pretty simple, guys. But in this video, I'm just gonna show you how to adjust this headlight. So for tools, I use the power screwdriver, a regular Phillips head screwdriver, a couple size ratchets, 6-inch extension, T27, T25, and a 3/16 hex bit. Now before I start removing the outer fairing, I'm gonna cover up the front fender and the tank. Now to remove my windshield, I have 4 Phillips head screws. And to remove the air duct, just lift straight up. It's just held on by these 2 retention posts. So here you have your right and your left turn signal connectors. I'll disconnect these. Now to support the outer fairing while I'm removing the other screws, I'm gonna put these 2 windshield screws back in. So to pop out the speaker grills, I'll just stick my hand behind the inner fairing and pop them out. So you have a Torx screw on each side next to the speaker, and I'm using a T27. Now I do have the Harley-Davidson fairing spoiler kit, but it's the same thing if you have the wind deflectors. You're gonna remove the bottom Torx screw on each side, and it's a T25. Now I'll remove the right and left turn signal screws. The turn signals do stay attached to the outer fairing, and I'm using a 3/16 hex bit. So now I'll remove the 2 screws supporting the outer fairing and remove the outer fairing. Now to remove the headlight, you have 2 screws on the top and 2 screws on the bottom. Now for the bottom screws, I'm just using a 3/16 hex bit, but for the top 2 screws, I'm using a 3/16 hex bit with an extension. Now I do have the HogWorkz LED vent inserts, or if you have the stock vent inserts, you do not need to remove those. Those stay attached to the headlight. So here you have the back of the headlight. I just have it resting on the fender with a cover. And here is where your adjustment screw is. Now clockwise, we'll bring it down, and counterclockwise, we'll bring it up. Unfortunately, you can't make adjustments to this headlight unless you remove it. That slot that's provided for you to adjust your stock headlight is just a little too tight to adjust that screw that's on the back of this headlight. But I did use a trick where I mounted the top of the headlight to the bottom 2 locations just to hold the headlight in place while I made my adjustments. I marked some positions on the wall. I knew how far I wanted to come down. I made my adjustments. I remounted my headlight, remounted my fairing. I went on a ride, and luckily I got it on the first try. Now you might have to do this a couple of times, but once you get it set, that's pretty much it. You don't have to do it again. It's unfortunate that you can't reach that screw on the back. Hopefully, if HogWorkz ever redesigns this headlight, they relocate that screw to the bottom so it's a little easier to access. Now just make sure when you're lining up your headlight that your headlight bezels or your vent inserts, the retention posts, are lined up with your vent holes. Now to reinstall the headlight, you have your 2 screws for the top and 2 screws for the bottom. All right guys, that pretty much wraps it up for the adjustments on the HogWorkz Dual Visionz LED headlight for the Road Glide. Now it is unfortunate that you do have to pull this headlight off in order to make your adjustments, but once you get this thing tuned in, it works out great, produces a lot of light and visibility on the road. Now hopefully in the future, if HogWorkz ever redesigns this headlight, that they relocate that screw from the back to the bottom so it's a little easier to adjust. Other than that guys, I hope this video was helpful. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.